If you had the misfortune to be alive in the 14th century and the double misfortune of being a merchant, I hope you had at least one fortune. The 14th century had a terrible reputation. About war, about illness, for example the Black Death plaguing the entire civilized world. The 14th century really was a bad time to be alive. But there still was a beacon of hope. You see, those crafty Germans up north had another plan up their sleeves, and for once, it wasn't about world domination through military means. It was world domination through economical means. Again, yes, the Hanseatic Trade League was born. All those small merchant republics you learned the existence of due to Europa Universalis, Hansa, Lubeck, Riga, etc. It was a pretty cozy place to be alive while the rest of the world was still recovering from the plague. And the game we have today is set directly in that time period. Patrician IV is a trading simulator released by Calypso in 2010, and it takes place in Northern Europe in the city of Lubeck during the High Middle Ages. And you build up a fortune to become the Donald Trump of the Holy Roman Empire. Well, you have the possibility to play a freestyle scenarios where you can set up shop wherever you want and explore the game however you desire. There is also a campaign offer. As mentioned, you start up in Lubeck and you have to start scrapping out the resources around you in the Danish peninsula and the southern Sweden and northern Germany to make a profit and grow from there. Now, if you've played any other game from Calypso such as Rise of Venice or Port Royal series or really any other Patrician title before, you will know exactly what's going on in Patrician IV. This is a sea trading simulator. You pick up your ships and you can build new ones, you can expand your fleets, or you can create multiple fleets. But you basically have to go from ports to ports with trading goods, and you buy low and sell high. This will be your first starting experience and you will build yourself some money to continuously expand your fleet. Eventually you will have enough money and reputation from your small time trading that you will enter the second stage of the game. By now, most of your fleets will be fully automated, making huge markup profit on every goods you're trading. Now it is time. You must build up the cities by creating business, factories, housing for the workers. The concept is simple, as you will need to get an authorization from the local guild and then proceed to the architect from whom you'll be able to set down buildings according to what is available in the town. I do love this segment of the game as you are able to shape the cities as you need and lay down businesses as you please. The layout you adopt has very little impact except for the extremely occasional invasions of the cities where they can get destroyed if it is set in the path of the enemy troops. But honestly, I have seen this only once and doubt it has much impact as the building will be rebuilt right away and then you can proceed down this path expanding into every ports around to go from the horizontal trading company you had to a vertical trading company. You'll be able to complete the trading chains, for example getting wood in Sweden down to Lubeck to create salt and then bring it up to north in Denmark to produce meat. And this is the core essence of Patrician IV. You build a trading empire and you go on from there. One special feature we have in Patrician IV is to send expeditions into the Mediterranean Sea. These expeditions at first will only allow you to discover cities along the Mediterranean coast, but eventually one city will be discovered and you'll be able to mount expeditions packing up some low value goods from your local area to trade up from some rare and expensive goods from the far-flung world that were worth a fortune in the Hanseatic League. And of course the part you were waiting for, naval combats. Oh boy, what is the point of playing a ship simulator if it is not for the high seafaring pirates to pillage all ships in sight? Of course you can do that, but the games are substantially not overweighting the drawbacks of committing water atrocities. But that doesn't save you from the atrocious battle system, because the pirates will attack you out of spite. You can give away your goods, but I know you. you will fight back. Here we get into the Naval Combat Simulator. Far-fetched from the likes of Silent Hunter and right in the veins of the fellowships of Calypso Media games. The battle system is subpar. You'll get to float around up to 3 ships of your fleet and battle the enemy at your leisure. While doing a frontal engagement is almost a death sentence, if you have a lesser amount of guns aboard your ships, you'll need to do just like a hunter in Vanilla World of Warcraft, kite the hell out of them. You can use the grapple shots to tear down your enemy sails to shred, slowing them down to a snail pace, and then proceed to pepper them with solid shots until they hit rock bottom. And it is quite simple to do, as the AI appears to be completely avoiding using the wind trails to chase you and will always attempt to use a direct approach, while you will be flying around through the wind and raining death down upon them. This, with the addition of the entire battle map being nothing but water, makes the combat system less than enjoyable and a chore overall. So you will most likely prefer to depart with some of your goods than fight off the pirates, especially since the auto resolution is complete garbage. The graphics are great in Patrician IV, nothing of course to brag about, but definitely nothing to overlook either. The cities are nice and the building variety is slightly lacking, but being able to enjoy the small peasants walking around is great. But once you pull out of the city to go to the nautical map, then things go south a little bit. First thing that pops to mind is the extremely outdated map with ugly ship's model plastered over this somewhat nicely painted and designed map. I just cry out for a massive update to a modern look. A modern look like Rise of Venice gives us. But at least we have a decent looking engine running for the naval combat, if you enjoy the endless amount of watery nothing. Talking about nothing, we have the musical soundtrack that is completely devoid of anything interesting. As with the previous titles, an apparent running gag at Calypso Media, the music is subpar for the strategy game genre. But at this point I'm getting used to it, so it isn't so bad anymore. Patrician IV is an excellent trading simulator of the high Middle Ages. It is a well-designed game and really stays in the spirit of other games from Calypso like Grand Ages Medieval and the previous Patrician's titles in Rise of Venice and Port Royal. While naval combat is not well exploited, you have a more intricate, more in-depth development of the cities themselves, where you can set up the shops and business, unlike for example Grand Age Medieval and Rise of Venice can offer you. It is indeed a nice mix of all the titles and is really a pleasing game to play. Of course, if these titles are not your types of game, then this one will definitely not fit into your taste either. But if you have ever played or had any interest for them, then certainly Patrician IV will take a hit on your interest. And for all these reasons, I have to recommend Patrician IV for you. Hopefully you've enjoyed this review, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button for more. And see you next time.